Hey guys, okay. Um, I know that this last week I kind of did something similar to the week before um with not getting everything taken care of, getting everything a little behind and not getting everything posted when I usually plan to. I am trying to get that better situated, but at the same time am I was thinking to myself that this was a good chance to not post during I dropped you. During sorry about that. During Thanksgiving, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, just because it's time with the family. And so I didn't have a lot of time with my family, and so I gotta put myself down here right now. Oh, there we go. Uh, but anyways, we're gonna do three quick videos from this past week because uh to get to where we are supposed to be, but also to get to where I'm going. And really and truly, I can make all of this into one video and kind of just get ahead of myself for next time and not be behind. And so that's my bad. Again, I wanted to give everyone time to be with family, and I know people haven't been watching because I haven't been posting about it, but hopefully people will get to this, and the fact that we're going to be a lot more organized and hopefully be able to give the youth everything that they need, and also for those who just watch this, the what you guys may need to with all of this. So the betrayal of Judas. We're beginning with that. This is from Wednesday. This section, and so if you read with me, while he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, suddenly arrived. With him was a mob with swords and clubs from the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders. His betrayer had given them a signal. The one I kiss, he said, he's the one. Arrest him and take him away under guard. So when he came, immediately he went up to Jesus and said, Rabbi, and kissed him. They took hold of him and arrested him. One of those who stood by, that was weird, stood by, uh, drew his sword, struck the high priest's servants, wait, the high priest's servant, and cut off his ear. Jesus said to them, have you come out with swords and clubs as if I were a criminal to capture me? Every day I was among you teaching in the temple, and you didn't arrest me, but the scriptures must be fulfilled. Then they all uh, distorted him and ran away. Uh, wait, deserted him. My brain. That was funny. And they all deserted him and ran away. Now, a certain young man wearing nothing but a loincloth was following him. They caught hold of him, but he left the loincloth behind and ran away naked. Now, this whole section in the other gospels we see in each gospel sharing similar aspects, also different aspects. The fact that he is said to, I'll just go to it because I believe it's in Matthew where he um, portrays denial predicted. Uh, he says to Judas, friend, why have you come? Um, in this one, he actually says to put the sword away, and then goes to that part. with the criminal, like I've been in front of you this whole time, yet you've chosen not to arrest me until now, like a criminal. I know. And then is it Luke? Plot to kill. Pray in the garden. Denies. Uh, ah, Here it is. In Luke 22:48, but Jesus said to him, Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss? So it's just I find that important to acknowledge how each one treats the betrayal and how it's out of shock, out of almost uh, in many ways a love because he didn't get angry at Judas. He did not um, curse him. He did not condemn him. Now, he did say previously that it'd be better if he were not born, but someone had to betray the Son of Man, and so that's the kind of the hard part about being Judas and his greediness and his desire for what seemed to be power and what seemed to be so much more than what he deserved in a lot of ways. We could touch on Judas for a while. There's a lot of different aspects to Judas, and there's actually a book that I own. I think I actually sent it home. I'm sending it home, I should say, with family because it's not really that useful. But there's an author who kind of puts in perspective of Judas and kind of tells the story as if he was doing as what he's doing for uh, because that's what his calling is. Now he obviously there is a purpose for him to be there, but the question that many have, like, if it was someone else, would they have done the same? I believe no matter who the situation was, it would have been him. There would have been Peter, James, and John kind of people, but it was Peter, James, and John. It was Judas. It was these people, and so you can't change what has already taken place, and so we can't really speculate if it was if it wasn't Judas, it could have been someone else or whatever. It was Judas. He was the betrayer, and he did betray the Son of Man with a kiss. Now, I want to actually share something that was it a theologian and a minister both two people mentioned to me once because we were talking once about the scriptures and little details and there's others who have believed this as well, but from 50 to 52 the verses the young man they believe that this young man was actually Mark because Mark was fairly younger at this point. And so that is just a very interesting thing. Like, why was he in a loincloth cloth for one? Like, why was that the only thing he was in? Like, that's just strange. And the second thing is like, why was he there? Actually, third thing is, why was he following Jesus and the disciples? Because when you look at it, it was him and the closest friends of his at the Last Supper. And so it's very, very interesting details to look at. And also, I find it important to acknowledge, because I don't want to forget this, what Judas says. He says, Rabbi, he calls him Rabbi. And so, which, is teacher. And he still considered him a teacher in a lot of ways because of what was happening, even with what was happening. Um, with that being said, my desire on Sundays to go through just scripture itself has not been going as well as I wanted it to. And so there will be a change in how we do things on Sundays. And we will be going through an actual kind of a study guide. And I think that will be beneficial to everyone overall. We will still be touching certain aspects to scripture, like if like this coming Sunday, we will be looking at the call of Abraham, and or Abram first, and what I'm going to do is look at when it gets here, look at the aspects of how how Abraham does the certain things about his life, and especially with how he does his ministry. But that's kind of it. Um, well, ministry, but also how many times he failed, because as something that we've noticed in Scripture, everyone that God specifically calls, uh, fails. You know, from the Old Testament, God calling the people to be His nation, they kept failing. Jesus in the New Testament, all of His disciples, they failed, and so each and every single time. So I think it's important to look at the how even when you fail, you can still be used by God. And so that's all I have for this one. Immediately, we're going to jump into the next one in just a moment, and then the last one. And again, I'll try to keep from having to do this time and time again. So I will see you in the next video for what would be